All right, welcome back. Episode 6 of the Duramax build. So if you watched the last episode, you saw that we installed this sweet exhaust tip. And on the way back from the Pit Stop Boys shop, this happened. So thankfully it still held air and we could make it home, but now it's kind of a rush to get these tires swapped out. We were holding off because our new tires haven't come in yet, but for now we'll just take the wheels from our parts truck and swap them over to this one. In this episode we'll also tackle our front fenders. We're going to replace these, we'll swap over our new doors, and we'll put those new mirrors on. So let's get to work. I've always wanted to do that transition. Cool, so the wheels are on. Like I mentioned, we'll have new tires coming soon, but we just checked, turned the wheels in both directions, and it clears, so that's awesome. We won't need that 6-inch lift right away. The back looks good as well, so we're going to look into mounting some mud flaps on there real soon. And then Gilly Wop was over here helping out. He took this fender off right over here, so it looks good. There's just this little spot here that I'm going to sand down and prep, and then we'll be ready to swap it over. So one thing I forgot to talk about in the last episode is the frame of the truck. So I owe a huge shout out to Cam. She spent probably 8 to 10 hours scraping away with an air chisel and a hammer and a scraper, just getting rid of all the loose rust and this old rubberized coating that was on the frame. Personally, I am against rubberized coatings on frames and stuff like POR 15 or this rubberized coating. Although it looks great when you first put it on, it's a nice black coating. Unfortunately, if you already have rust started, it traps rust and moisture underneath and rots the frame from the inside. So I go with something like an oil-based rust proofing, like this Crown. We've been shooting our cars with that forever, and it does a great job. Although, you know, you can still see a little bit of the orange from the rust. As you drive, the dirt and oil from the road actually coats the frame. You can kind of see it here, and it becomes almost black. If you want to see an example of what I mean with a black coated frame, our parts truck actually has this coating, and like, look at this. You can see the moisture and the water coming out of it, and you can literally scrape this off and see that it's rotting the frame underneath. So although it looks good, it's definitely not the way to go. Keep in mind though, if you don't have any rust, if you have fresh metal like this, or like rockers, we did the bottom of the cab corners here because they're brand new metal, stuff like that is great. If you don't have any rust started, there's no moisture or rust to trap, right? So you're just protecting the metal. So we're actually going to put a strip at the bottom here, another strip here, probably go around the wheel wells here because we don't have flares on this build. So this rubberized coating will just add one more little layer of protection for rocks and stuff flying up. So for the mud flaps, we're going with these Rally Armor Universal mud flaps that we won at a rallycross event last year. So we made these brackets out of an old road sign that we had laying around, and we started by making a template out of a pogo box, and then we traced it and cut it onto this piece. So this is proof that pogos are not only delicious, they're actually very useful too, and are part of a balanced diet. So then we use these brackets to secure the mud flaps onto the truck. Now keep in mind, these mud flaps are just temporary. We're going to go with something a little bit more beefy, like a kickback style mud flap eventually, but this is good enough for now, and it'll prevent any rocks and salt from damaging our new metal parts. So this is the final result.
Good morning.
Good morning. Another beautiful autumn day. Today we got Griff working on this door. As you can see, someone painted it before and did a horrible job. So we're gonna sand that down. I think Gillywop's coming over. We're gonna swap this door. You can see how much play it has in it. So we're gonna replace the pins on this side too. Probably an oil change, it needs it. And then just patching up this little hole in the rocker. So previously there was no mud flaps here, so all the rocks and salt and everything would smack this little section here and cause it to rot out. So I'm gonna swap a little piece there, and that should be the end of bodywork finally. Two types of guys in this world. Gillywop working hard over there. We got Griff practicing wheelies over here. We got a little halftime show in between some truck work. So there you go. The front end is all back together and we can finally drive the truck. So it's a pretty cool feeling. There's no more rust anywhere on the truck. It's all new panels, new doors. There used to be a hole right here that we patched. Fenders have been replaced. We just put the stock hood back on for now until we modify that Chevy 2500 HD hood. We'll show you guys how to do that in a future episode. This fender we actually picked up last week at Kenny Upol, a little bit of an emergency. The fender that we had before we thought would work, but it was actually from a Chevy, so the lines aren't quite the same up here. So thankfully they had one. There was no rust anywhere, but there was a dent here, so we spent some time fixing that, but it looks really good now. our next step is to replace our headlights and turn signals. We have some new ones coming in from Truck Parts Superstore, so make sure you tune in to the next episode to catch that. We'll also be replacing our front grille with the one from our 2004 parts truck, and we'll also have a newer style front bumper that we're putting on. But for now, it's supposed to snow tomorrow, so it's time to put some winter tires on the Subaru. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
Gucci tee, pop the pill, she's good to go. Smoking good stuff, can't see. Blah.